So you want to know what clothes to buy that's actually going to last you a long time, that you're not going to cringe at in a year from now. Don't worry, I got you. In this video, I'm going to be giving you all the steps and tips on how to build a timeless wardrobe, so that way when you go shopping for the next time, you're not going to be buying some bullshit that you're going to be giving to Goodwill in like a year. You're actually going to have something that's not only built to last quality-wise, but it's also built to last generations. And you might even fuck around and pass that shit down to your kids. So with that being said, let's get into the first step. All right, step 1, leave the trends alone. Now let me say this, there's nothing wrong with indulging in a little trend. There's nothing wrong with a trend being the reason you find out you like something. For example, someone's favorite shoe may be Tim's. Tim's were trending, but Tim's are also timeless. You know, people have been wearing those boots for years before they even became what they are today. And people are going to continue to wear Tim's, even though it's starting to die out and, you know, that's becoming like the common fashion or whatever. People are still gonna wear them. And there's probably gonna be an increase of people who continue to wear them later down the line. I'm talking 10, 15 years from now, but a lot of those people that are wearing them later down the line are probably wearing them because they found out about them today. Now, the point of this tip is to say, don't just hop on every trend. Talk about the people who went from Sambas to Tim's, seamless jump, jorts, soccer jerseys, just basic stuff. You know, that stuff goes viral for a reason. It's easy, quick to copy, and you don't really want to indulge in that because a year from now, no one's gonna care. In every trend that you participate in, like extensively, like let's say, like I know, like what was it, 2024 jerseys were really big with like jorts. If you were out there buying 100 jerseys all summer, I mean, you're putting yourself in a bad spot. Just take the ones that you like, that you resonate with, that you really feel comfortable taking that and adapting it into your personal style. That really fits your body, your proportion, your silhouette. The whole point of trends is kind of to experiment with it, interpret it in your own way, and decide what you want to keep and what you want to disregard. Next up, we're going to talk about practical clothing. When you go shopping, do not blow the whole budget on statement pieces. A lot of the time, that really expensive coat or that really expensive pair of jeans, subconsciously you know how much you spent on it and you know what brand it is or things like that. Lots of different factors go into how frequently you wear that, and it's a lot harder to build a timeless wardrobe that's built, you know, for every day, because obviously you need clothes for every day. It's gonna be a lot harder to do that when you are spending all your money on statement pieces that just don't function very well in day-to-day life. When you go shopping, really hone in on how it feels. Imagine how it would feel wearing it on a long day at work or wherever you go, wherever you do, you know, go to the movies. I don't know what you do in your free time, but whatever you do, imagine the clothes in that scenario and if you want to be wearing it. For example, button-up short sleeve shirts, I don't like to wear those. Not for a long period of time at least. Ever since I was a kid, I just hated the way it felt. I wear them every now and then, but if there's one that's really hard, I may buy it to go out to the club or post on my Instagram, something like that. But if I'm thinking I want a wardrobe full of clothes that I wear every day, I go thrifting or I go shopping, I'm more than likely just gonna ignore the button-up short sleeves. It doesn't have any room in my wardrobe years down the line. I'm not saying I'm gonna buy none of them, but I'm saying in the sense that I'm trying to have day-to-day use, day-to-day wear, I need a uniform. I need something I feel comfortable in. To make that easy on yourself, is shop for practical clothing. Don't just buy statement pieces. We'll get to that point later in the video. Lock in on having clothes to wear now, every day. It makes your wardrobe a lot more timeless in the sense that what you're wearing now, you'll probably be able to wear a year from now because your routine may not change that much, at least for the common person, especially like for us that are either in school or you have to wear a certain type of clothes at work. I mean, I'm a student, I go to class, I come home. I've been wearing the same sweatpants probably for like the last 2 or 3 years. Just need some sweats to get by. So that's what I've been doing. Now that we got that out of the way, while you're shopping, know your measurements. When you're buying practical clothing, right? Part of that is determined by size and how it fits. Feeling comfortable in a piece that's too small or too large, it sucks. I know we've all been there. It's like the worst feeling. Fucks up your confidence, fucks up your mood. Easiest way to avoid that is just know your measurements. Go to a tailor, get it done one time. It take maybe like 10 minutes. Even if you're at home, take a ruler or a yardstick and measure your favorite pieces. This shirt fits me the best, this jeans fits me the best, this jacket, all that. Take the measurements of that and then just use it as a reference point for when you go shop. When you're shopping online, you can't try the piece on, so you have to go by the size chart. Don't buy and blind. You're in between a large and an extra large. You need to know the difference because you lean into that extra large and it's too big, you're gonna be pissed. You lean into that large, it's too small, you're gonna be pissed. You also want to crop or rework or stitch a bunch of your clothes, which will become a real headache if you're trying to keep your clothes lasting for a long time. The more you tamper with it, sometimes depending on the quality of what it's made of, it may not last as long. So kind of want to avoid tampering with clothes too much, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Know your measurements, make shopping a lot easier and a lot quicker. Now next up, y'all heard me use the term uniform. Build uniforms, something that you can throw on at any time, any given moment, and you know you're gonna feel confident. Whether that's a certain style of piece, certain pair of jeans, whatever it is, buy that and buy a lot of it. Me personally, at least back before, now not really so much, but back then it used to be flannels. If I was gonna put some on, or like I was trying to be quick with some, like everybody just knew like I was gonna have a flannel on most of the time. And I would wear it, you know, different ways, you know, either button it all the way up, leave it open, uncuff the wrist. There was just a lot of different things that you can do with it that I like. I still do like flannels, I just don't wear them as much anymore. But back then, that was considered like my uniform. I had flavors, flannels, I had flavors. For you, it may look a little bit different. It may be gray jeans, that you just always wear gray jeans. It may be shorts, it may be sweatpants. You always wear sweatpants. You have sweatpants in every color. That may be you. Find that uniform and find that thing that you kind of just have in rotation, and you probably wear maybe around 3 to 4 times out the week, 7 days, maybe a little bit over half of the time you're wearing that uniform, just because it's consistent to you. It's a signature look almost. When people see it, you know, they get familiar with it, they notice you. It makes this a lot easier when you're still like in that phase of growing your fashion, experimenting. Also, you can kind of start to like play around with it. I don't know, like depending on what brands you shop with. Let's use the flannels for example. Let's say I started wearing like reworked flannels. I'm still sticking into like my uniform, my comfort zone. I still get the compliments that I'm looking for, or people can take notice of the piece. Just add a little variety to it, but still play into that uniform role. Next, niggas might have mixed opinions on this one, but logos. Avoid pieces with really big and large logos. I know that's kind of contradictory to the shirt I'm wearing right now. There's small exceptions into where this applies. You know, t-shirts a little bit different. You know, it's a really big canvas that you can play with. Whenever you're buying these hoodies, man, that just got big text on it, big slop. Don't even look at it. Don't even look at that garbage. Don't even think to buy it. You're like, man, like I don't even know whose brand this is. Sometimes when I look at these brands and they're coming out with like the piece is just their logo or their brand name just on there, where you have not established no meaning. You don't even know who you are. Like, and that's not like a diss or anything to like, if your logo looks hard and the piece is hard, then that's cool. I would probably still buy it. I may even make pieces for my brand that are like that too. But it's important to know that someone who wants to have a timeless wardrobe or like clothes that they're gonna wear for a long time isn't buying pieces that just have giant logos plastered onto them. Text that doesn't even make sense. You know, y'all know what I mean. When I say this, y'all already have brands in mind that you're envisioning. If you're thinking about it, that's probably what I mean. Now, of course, like what you like, shop where you want to shop, and use this rule to your own style. Make your own exceptions, because at the end of the day, this is just a video. I'm not telling you what to buy. I actually don't care. But if you wanted to have a timeless wardrobe, you'll find yourself getting rid of the clothes that have that BS on there. So save yourself the trouble now and just don't even buy it in the first place. All right, next step. Gaining inspiration from prior generations. Now, this is exactly what it sounds like. Fashion and history repeats itself, and the easiest way to have a timeless wardrobe is to get something that's lasted the tale of time. For example, Converse. When they came out in the 90s, they were originally a hoop shoe. People don't hoop in them anymore, but now we wear them in the street. Hiking boots, work boots, kind of stuff like that. You see that's kind of becoming cool again. You see even Nike's bringing back ACG because they're really trying to push that like outdoor vibe to it, you know. Windbreaker, that kind of had a little dip off, but it's back now. The list could go on, but fashion, you know, it's just a cycle. There's nothing new. We're never ever gonna see in our life something new. We'll just see something reiterated, something brought back. And if you think you're creating something new, you're like, I hate to burst your bubble, but it's probably been done already and you just haven't seen it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but for the sake of the context of this video and understanding what it means to actually have a timeless wardrobe, just understand fashion repeats itself. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve, and you want to stay ahead of the curve while you shop, but also make sure you're not buying slop, just remember it's a cycle. So look at what was cool back in the 90s. Look at how clothes was functional. There's a reason why Carhartt jackets and stuff are made of the materials they're made of now, you know. Think of like the construction workers back then, what they had to protect themselves from. Obviously, they still work hard, but you know what I mean? Like, understanding the history of the fashion, where it came from, why people wear it, and, you know, how it's being reiterated today. Take a little bit of time to think about the past, especially when you're building, like, your Pinterest boards and your inspo. It's gonna make it a lot easier to build a timeless wardrobe. And now, lastly, what I would consider probably the most important on this list, cleaning out your closet regularly. Now, this is something I found myself struggling with a lot. One thing about me is I like clothes. I like to have a lot of clothes, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But in the pursuit of having a very versatile and large closet and wardrobe, found that I've been hoarding pieces that I don't even wear, think about, or look at for the sake of having a deep closet. You just gotta get rid of it. Like, it's not serving purpose. It's just sitting there collecting dust. And most often than not, you're keeping it just to, you know, be like, oh, I'm you know, I got fashion, I got shit. it's no point. Like, if you're not wearing it, get rid of it. I used to try and cope with it and be like, oh, you know, I'm waiting for, you know, this type of event, or there may be one day I need it. That may be true, but if you haven't needed it in 2 or 3 years, then you don't need it at all. I find myself wearing most of the same clothes every week. I typically find myself getting the clothes out of the wash on Sunday night, and I'm wearing them again through the week. Because of like my current lifestyle, I wear a lot of sweatpants. I wear a lot of zip ups and hoodies and normal things. You know, where I work, we have a uniform, so I can't freestyle what I wear. Consider your occupation, you know, what you're doing, where you're at, and then clear your closet. Like every 6 months or every year, get rid of the stuff that it's not serving you. But with that being said, that is gonna bring me to the end of the video. Hopefully you got a few little tips on how to build a more timeless wardrobe. If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and comment them below. You know, I'm still working on my wardrobe, so I'm gonna learn more tips and I'm gonna share them with y'all. But hopefully this is a good starting point. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and consider subscribing. It means a lot to me and helps grow the channel. But I'll see y'all in the next video.